Hey guys.
What's up, all y'all out there?
Hey guys.
What's
it's
going
through
on?
the crate. Hey guys. It's through the crate.
You sound so corny.
Man, you look
guys.
corny.
Nigga, I look good.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about over there.
Whatever.
Hey guys, it's through the crate. Be like, what up, motherfuckers? It's through the crate.
Anyway, welcome back, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming back and tuning in. What's going on with you guys? What's going on?
The last time I answered, you were like, I wasn't asking you, I was asking them. And
You're
I'm
damn
like,
right. Now, Tressie, how are you?
I don't know how I feel about this whole intro with you doing shit like that, but that's cool. I mean, I'm fine. I'm doing well. Life is good.
That's
I mean,
good.
we went to a concert last night.
We sure
which
did.
was dope. Roots, Chance, Donnie Trumpet, Taste of Chicago.
Boom.
You missed a lot of great music if you weren't there.
Boom.
What
Don't
else did
forget
we
about
do?
the food.
The food was amazeballs.
Food was pretty good, but I mean, the music was pretty good, damn good too. Wasn't it cool to see? First of all, Donnie Trumpet, he always puts on a good show.
Indeed.
Chicago, you know, it's always good for me. Before I got into hip hop, I was into a music, like a musician, like literally playing an instrument. And so it's always cool for me to go somewhere and see someone who becomes famous in this day and age for playing an instrument and not just for being an artist.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
You know, it was definitely nice to see a band on the stage with horns and drums and background singers, but no front round singer. It was dope. It was dope.
Yeah, it was really nice. And then having the Roots perform right after that, like that's where like everything was birthed, like the hip hop bands were birthed from, you know.
Dude, they are fucking rock stars.
They really are. They seriously are.
I mean, when you talk about the term of like, what is a rock star? A rock star, like, you can put on a show and it's a spectacle, and just your presence on stage, just you doing what you do best, people go fucking nuts. And that was the Roots. I mean,
Seriously, it was.
Black Thought just rapping through his ass and even flipping up his own cadences and stuff. Every single musician on that stage had chops.
Oh yeah, and then
professionals.
and then also like the energy that they did everything with, like they were jumping around. Like the homeboy had that big ass tuba fucking.
This is fun.
Thank you. I can't say that. That's why I said tuba fucking looking thing.
Tuba.
A jubiler.
Big old tuba phone.
A jubiler. He had a jubiler, and he was jumping around with the
He's a
jubiler.
skinny little dude too. You see him? He took it off. I almost didn't recognize him.
Yeah,
that
he's
thing wrapped
hella
around him.
strong too. Like you can see all his muscles and everything. And then also the dude. Shut up. You're giving me a look.
Look at his muscles.
Oh my god, his muscles, they were just so amazing. No, so like he was jumping around and all that stuff, and then like even the dude that was playing the percussion jumped around, and then homie Kirk on the guitar like jumping around.
But the
like,
dude on the machine though.
Oh my god, they had this white boy on the machine on the machine doing all these, like, it was like a DJ set, but like.
And if you don't know what a machine is,
Native Instruments.
Yes.
Machine.
Yes.
Drum pad.
It's a drum pad.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy had all of his sample banks memorized. He knew where all his samples were, how to adjust the sounds in real time. It was incredible. He was making beats on the spot. It was like watching a YouTube informational video in real life, in real time.
Seriously.
This dude was putting on a fucking clinic.
And it's also interesting to see how that is becoming an instrument to be played. Because, like, you know, a lot of people might say that, like, you know, you just bang it on a pad. But, like, to be honest, dude, like, that takes a lot of skill to be doing that live and thoroughly throughout and keeping that beat. That's like being a drummer in a sense, but not no, I'm not saying that they are drummers, but I'm saying like it's almost in being a drummer. And if you've ever played on an MC, like if you ever seen Arab music, like when he goes in, it's like going crazy on those drum pads on the MPC. Like it's definitely a skill
For sure. I mean, it is an instrument.
Indeed.
We just have to. I mean, you know, people always, when technology changes, they always want to try to fight against the change of technology. But instead of fighting it, embrace it. Embrace it for what it is. And that guy on that stage really like opened my eyes even to what the possibilities were of this MPC. It's like, oh my God, dude, he freaking, what was he? It was like live freaking music. He did a solo on a machine. It was
like a full on like DJ set that he played.
Yes.
Like sample for sample, pad for pad. So, excuse me, burp off microphone.
Burp off the phone.
Burp off the phone.
Burp off the phone.
Burp off the phone. Anyway, but yeah, so basically that was like really interesting to see. And then Roots come back on. One thing that I also want to point out from that concert was the fact that the Roots made fun of mumble rap. It was amazing.
I don't know if you caught this, but before he went into Black Thought went into his like mumble rap little freestyle medley thing, he mumbled something about this is not a subliminal.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear that.
He mumbled, and it was hard to understand because he was doing this whole kind of thing, and he's like, "This is not a subliminal," and then he started like,
"This is not a subliminal."
Fucking Black Thought.
Yeah,
and then he flipped it into that.
Panda. Did you hear him even do that? Like he was taking shots.
But it's not a subliminal though. That's what he said.
Yeah. Like but, man, those are blatant shots though.
I mean, and even when Questlove got in on it. Questlove hopped on the mic.
They were going back and forth.
Like it was hilarious. And what's funny is the crowd loved it. The crowd of very mixed Chicago loved it. Mm-hmm. If you go to a Roots show, you get a really good representation of America in the crowd. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
You get old, you get young, you get from black all the way to white and everything in between.
Yeah.
Everything in between. Mm-hmm. They just love the Roots, love the energy, love the sound and the vibe. People were getting up and dancing. Even to the mumble rap stuff, they were still getting up and dancing.
Yeah, they were. And that's when all the young kids from the Chant show started dancing and stuff. And so one thing that I was actually kind of disappointed to hear is that when I got to work today, I was talking to a couple of people, and some people were saying that they left after Chants. And I'm like, what? Like my coworker was like, yeah, I left after Chants. And then I talked to another girl. She was like, oh yeah, the Roots were there. And I was like, dude.
Were these young people or older people?
Younger. They're like around Chance's age, like 23 to 25.
Okay. Now,
I don't. But like.
But we're also musicians, and so if you remember when Donnie Trumpet came out, when he was kind of introducing the Roots and was kind of paying homage, he was saying like, this is a group that laid the foundation for my career as a musician.
Right.
And I'm sure if you talk, and we're both musicians, so yes, we both know the Roots. We were both very influenced by the Roots,
right.
If not even their music, then just the culture that they brought about. People who are not musicians may not know the impact of the Roots. And at that show, we were both there, and I was saying, man, Black Thought is pretty much the dude that I aspire to be as a rapper.
Yeah.
And what did you say? You said he's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yep.
That's Black Thought.
Yep.
And so, you know what? The common folk don't need to know who the real God in this shit is, but you know what? The people in it know who it is.
Exactly.
And
like, ain't nobody coming up against Black Thought. Nobody's testing him. Nobody. Not your favorite rapper. Not your mumble rapper. Nobody's testing him. He will mumble rap the shit out of you, nigga. Like, that's one thing, like, because he like, he was like, when he was doing the mumble rap, too, like, I would hear words here and there. So, like, even when he would start it, it was kind of like, I think he's making fun of this, but he's actually saying something. And it's just like the caliber of rapper that he is. To me, it just felt like, I can't do just mumble rap, but I'm going to show y'all niggas how it can be done.
Right.
And also make fun of you at the same time. Like, I can move a crowd that doesn't necessarily listen to this type of music because of the type of music that Roots listens to, makes, and still get them to move. They even played fucking Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's like, they're
fucking rock
hands
stars.
Down.
They're fucking rock stars. Now imagine if the Roots had made fun of whatever style of music that Joe Budden does.
Crickets.
No, there wouldn't be crickets. Joe Budden would probably write a diss song against the Roots.
Right. True.
Because the Roots were dropping some kind of subliminals at a show.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing is that I think to give Joe Budden credit, because I am, I guess, the Joe Budden supporter on this podcast, and you aren't. I mean, just to say, just to play, I guess, devil's advocate.
I would love to play that role. Go.
But just saying, like, I don't think Joe Budden would ever test Black Thought, but if he did, he would give.
I hope he's smarter than that.
You know, but if he had to, Joe Budden is the type of rapper that would. Like, if you're...
I would love to see that.
Of course you would.
I mean, as a fan of hip-hop...
Of course anybody would.
If Joe Budden, a spitter,
I would love to see,
wants to go with Black Thought, a spitter, thumbs up.
Yeah. Anybody wants to see that. Everybody wanted to see the Jay-Z and Nas thing. Everybody wants to see, like, the LL and Cannabis. Like, everybody wants to see those things when you're spitting, because those are the beefs that actually mattered. Now, when you get to this lukewarm-ass shit that's happening nowadays...
Yeah.
It gets crazy. So when somebody that actually has lyrical ability to tear you and rip you apart, what do? Well, maybe we could talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about what Joe Budden did to Drake. Drake not doing it.
I wouldn't say he did it to Drake. I say he did it at Drake.
At Drake. Okay.
At Drake. It's like, have you ever seen the Pope rolling around in his little Pope mobile?
No. Well, yes, I guess.
Yeah, he's got like, I mean, have you seen the Family Guy episode with the Pope and the Pope mobile? All right, cool. You've seen that for sure.
Yeah.
Ignorant ass. But so imagine that being Drake riding around in his Drake
Pope
mobile. And Joe Budden's outside throwing fucking feather pillows.
I was going to say, who threw that pebble?
No, he wouldn't say anything. Yeah. He wouldn't even hear it.
I'm not
he wouldn't feel it.
I was going to say that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would mean nothing. And unfortunately, as much as I love hip-hop and as much as I love bars, that is exactly what we have here, guys. We have Joe Budden throwing pillows
at Drake.
At the Drake mobile.
I don't know. Okay. So if you want to call it pillows as it's not affecting Drake or it doesn't have anything to do with Drake, then yes. If you want to call it
pillows in the impact it's having on Drake, not in the actual weapon.
Ability or lyricism within it.
Oh, yeah.
Killed him.
He has bars. Yeah. Bars.
But I'm just saying, like, we can't discount the fact that Joe Budden ripped him a new one. And you don't know how long we've been waiting for something like this to happen. I'm waiting for him to go at Meek because I'm assuming that Meek would respond because he's a little bit less pussy than Drake is.
He is, but Meek just got off of house arrest.
He can't be doing all that, I know.
Meek is just out here trying to make money.
And he's fucking Nicki Minaj, so it's like, when do I find the time to do that?
So how would Meek look if he went at Joe and Drake didn't?
He would look like Drake's bitch. True. So I get it.
He can. If Drake don't say shit, he can't say shit.
Right.
And he won't.
Well, he's still doing the Twitter figures though.
But I mean, that's a classic. You know, that's classic.
That's classic Meek.
That's classic Mika.
Classic Mika. Anyway.
No, but I mean, Joe did have bars, but
he went at him, and it was pretty interesting to hear and listen to.
I mean, you know, I don't follow this, like, you know, some of the personal stuff that he got into, because apparently he was getting at him in the song Making a Murder about females he's talking to, and him being with the chick, and, you know, I don't follow the social media super heavy, you know what I'm saying? I don't follow the love and hip hop scene that heavy, but apparently, I don't know, Joe Budden is supposed to be this player, and Drake is getting females from him. Is any of this true? I mean,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. The thing is that I'm not going to be able to know if it's true or not because I'm not in that circle. But I will say that Joe Budden is one to be known with big booty hoes, and Drake is one to have loved some big booty hoes.
I like my girls BBW.
With them having a relationship since 2009, it's not. I think it's safe to assume that they have a relationship to where they may have smashed the same bitch a couple of times.
Probably, yeah.
So I think, to be honest, there's nothing much for Joe to be really lying about in that, and it doesn't sound like some fictitious shit anyway.
Okay.
You know, like especially in that whole Making a Murderer song, like. He went in on a whole bunch of different things, and it just all sounds pretty fucking believable.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I mean, the personal stuff, I don't know. The whole rap stuff, of course, straight.
But even going back a little bit, thinking about that that line that Drake had that actually started this whole thing. So so you guys don't know, there's a line within 4 p.m. in Calabasas that Joe Budden really thought that he was directed at him, and it was the line that was basically saying their whole demeanor just spells envy, and it has to do with like jealousy or whatever, and it has to do with Joe. What? Go ahead.
Finish. No, you finish explaining it.
Well, I'm just saying that the specific line is like basically a subliminal, I can't even talk, diss towards Joe Budden.
How?
Because Joe Budden stated on his podcast that Drake was sounding uninspired.
Yes.
On views.
Okay.
And spelling envy is a reference to Fat Joe's studio album release, Jealous Ones, Envy, and so J-O-E, jealous. J-O-1-O-E, envy, Joe. So that's where he grabbed that from. And I understand that a lot of people think that's reaching, but it's either you're reaching really far,
yeah,
for this coincidence,
yeah,
or like,
or Drake is that good.
Exactly.
And
so
Drake, the man who made this fucking shitty album Views, is that good. But Drake, the one who's been accused of using all these ghostwriters, is that good.
But the Drake that got himself there,
where
with the like, I remember even like, to me, like, I remember seeing, I don't know, like, I don't know
yoga pants.
Oh my god!
Take off the yoga pants.
Do you remember? I don't know if you just shut the fuck up so I can say this, you piece of shit. No, so I don't know if you remember, but like even back in the day, like there was this thing with Drake when he was doing Degrassi, where he showed everybody like he had tons and tons and tons of music in like CD binders, like probably because he was buying a bunch of CDs, and like it was like a bunch of rap music and stuff, and then he showed like the tons of rap notebooks that he had. So it's not a factor of if Drake has the ability to write, it's the or the quality of writing, or like the ability to write high quality lyrics or something like that, because that is a very that it's digging deep. So it's like, does Drake have the ability to do that?
So that line specifically for me, I think is Drake meant it on the surface. I think Drake meant that line very much on the surface. I feel like Joe Budden, being an expert lyricist himself, jumped to conclusions.
And so you're saying that he's expecting too much from Drake in that area. Like Drake wasn't worried about that. He wasn't spelling envy, jealous ones envy.
Right. I don't.
I'm just saying that's your speculative.
Yes, I don't see Drake thinking it through
that far,
that deep. I mean, I don't. I
don't know.
It's a stretch, and I would love for everyone in Joe Budden to take off the yoga pants.
Oh my god. All right, and then we all thought that in Making a Murderer that he was coming at Jay-Z, but I think he's tried to clear that up since, saying that he wasn't going at Jay-Z. He was just like, saying, Jay-Z, guess what? I'm going to do the job that you didn't do.
Yeah.
Point blank.
I don't think he was going at Jay at all. I mean, he mentioned Jay's name, and, it's a rap battle song. It's a song where he's taking shots. So if you mention someone's name on a song that you're taking shots, and it's not necessarily in a nice tone, it doesn't necessarily mean you're dissing that person. I think it's just
it can be interpreted as
it came off a little aggressive because he was going at Drake, and he was just pretty much telling Jay, "Bruh, I understand you're too big for this. I got it. I got it.
Got you.
I don't see him taking shots at Jay at all. He ain't that dumb. He's not.
I guess, yeah. And then he comes out with a new one called Wake.
Yes.
And that one is basically saying that he's at Drake's wake.
Yeah, so, first one's Making a Murder. Second one is Wake.
Gotta have the installments, right?
Yeah. Wake, pretty much, I feel like he went in a little bit more on the musical side of of Drake and him being, a swagger jacker. He didn't use that term, but
swagger jacking.
I'm generalizing here because these are terms that everyone is familiar with Drake now.
True that.
So he goes in specifically on a number of people. He talks about The Weeknd. He talks about everybody wants, him to put out a party album, but he keeps taking the parties out and put on his party album. Talking about him taking Party Next Door songs, so, Party Next Door never gets an album, which, you know what? I'm sure at this point, Party Next Door is happy just to be riding the OVO train. Right. He...
Working in the sweatshop.
Exactly. He talks about... the ghostwriter allegations and making sure if he wrote it. And so it's, the Wake song, I feel like he's taking like very specific shots at very specific actions that we've all seen Drake take and kind of confirming a lot of little things that maybe have been assumed along the way. And I guess confirming through the eyes of Joe Budden because he knows. He knows what's actually going on.
We know all.
So, I mean, for me, considering how I feel about Drake at the moment, it felt good to hear someone else say it.
Yeah. So you were more of a fan of this one than the other one because of just the facts of it going at his actual musical ability instead of some personal shit. Or not,
Yes. But I still feel that they're both just straight bars. Joe Budden has bars, but at this point, like I said, he's throwing a pillow at the Drake mobile, and he will get no response, and no one else in the world fucking cares, except for people who do hip hop podcasts and care about bars.
Did you know, though, I just actually pulled up a interesting fact, that Wake was released July 6th, 2016 at 2:31 a.m., which is mirroring the time that Drake was born, October 24th, 1986. The same time. I'm like, damn, that you go into some fucking,
Okay.
shit there.
So, like I said, Joe has got his freaking yoga pants on.
All right, whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Stretch it out, nigga.
Anyway, so we got that. We got Joe Budden apparently needing to put on some yoga pants.
No. He needs to take them off.
Or take them off.
Put on the man pants.
Man pants.
The man pants. It's not like anybody had man pants on when they were fucking chilling in the bed with Kanye West.
That video, I can tell you right now, it took away so much of my life. 10 minutes of nothing, no music. I don't get it. I mean, you got this one white woman, Anna Wintour, I guess her name is. You got Bill Cosby, Amber Rose, Ray J, Kim, Kanye, Chris Brown, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Donald Trump, George Bush. You got all these people in there. And it's ridiculous. I felt stupider after watching it. And it feels like just a hype beast trolling ass video where he's doing this just to get not clicks, but attention, to bring it back to him, to stay relevant, to stay in that.
When was Kanye not a troll?
True.
Even from...
But I think maybe his trolling was a little bit masked before. Maybe I was riding too hard for him before. Maybe this was the straw that broke the camel's back for me.
Okay.
Him putting out some stupid wax figure, I understand, it's art. I get it, and I don't get it. I get that you're trying to be fit, oh my God, it's art. It's
Now, you know what? On that art note, shout out to the freaking wax artist who made all those people. I don't know who you are,
got paid.
But that
he better have got paid.
That shit, he or she should have gotten paid a lot. Sexist ass. But those wax figurines were fucking it was dope. If you didn't know, for most of the still shots that are going around the internet, the screenshots and shit, it looked like the people.
It does look like the people, and I think. Yeah, shout out to the artists. They did a really good job. I think even the way it was shot was pretty cool. But again, I don't know what I'm looking at. Is this meant for me? It's probably not meant for me if I don't understand it. But
I don't get it.
It's it was just very it just disappoints me because I ride for Kanye so much all the time. Like, people try and be like, oh, he's an asshole, I hate him. I'm like, I bet you don't hate his music, you know, and stuff. Ooh, another burp. Oh, shit. I mean, we keep it real on Through the Crate. That's all I'm saying. Through the Crate, no. But yeah, so, like, I ride for him, and I'll just be like, man, I bet you love his music. You may think he's a good guy with asshole tendencies.
Right.
That's what he is. And then,
yeah,
that's exactly what he is.
Okay.
And so, when it comes to this fucking goddamn video, it makes it harder for me to fucking defend him. It makes it harder for me to be like, nah, that was like, I can't say that was art. Like, I can't, like, that shit looked like some weird shit to me. Like, that just looked like an attention grab. Like, why are you putting Amber in something? Like, that shit is so old. Why are you putting fucking Ray J in that shit? That shit's even fucking older.
Yeah,
like, why are you doing this?
Bruh.
You want to move on? You want to get shit, like, your fashion shit going? Like, do that shit some other fucking way, dude. Like, I don't know. It's like, is the integrity gone now? Like, what's going on here? Like, it just makes me question so much with life. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Is he trying to provoke me? And then, lastly, sorry, end of my rant at this point, because of shit.
No, guys, when we watched the video for the first time, she was fucking speechless for the first 2 minutes. Like, 2.5 minutes in, it was just like a, why?
I was so, like, I just looked at him and I'm just like, dude, is he serious right now? Is he serious? And so, like, first of all, leave Amber Rose and Wiz Khalifa and all that shit, like, and Ray J, like, leave that shit alone. Like, that shit is petty. Like, the same reason why I used to tell, like, fucking Chris Brown, like, stop mentioning Karuchi's name and fuck, like, you know, like, that shit is petty. Like, you acting like a bitch. And I don't want, he can act like an asshole, but you're not supposed to act like a bitch.
And why was the video longer than the song?
It was weird. And
there was like 3-4 minutes of no song. It was just shots of this bed with people in it. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
And then, like, and then it makes me think, like, okay, maybe he's doing this the same reason why he does those weird ass freestyles, like raps and stuff that he does on, like, Schoolboy Q's, like, that part and,
right, and
all that shit.
Yeah.
So just like, is that what's happening? Like, I had all these notes down when we watched the video because I did not want to forget the way I felt when I first watched it. And I just looked at my phone and went through all of those notes. And I only have like a couple of things written down on those notes. I just went off the cuff just now, like off the top of the dome. And like, that's how angry that made me.
You still feel it.
Yeah, I still feel like the 10 minutes that I lost in my life watching that piece of shit. But yeah, so like, that was just like, ugh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all.
I mean, I was trying to ride with Kanye, and then I feel like you pretty much said it all. I mean, yeah, it's just, those wax figurines were incredible.
They were. That's it. I guess that's the only positive thing I can say out for that. I don't even like Famous that much as a song.
It was alright. It's alright.
It's not bad.
You love the album though.
I did love the album. I love the album. I love the gospel of it. I mean, I don't listen to it as much as I pick and choose like 3 or 4 songs that I listen to like all the time now, but the album was good.
So I mean, how are you feeling about Kanye West as a businessman at this point? You know, he stepped down as the president of Good Music, and he gave it to Pusha T. He handed over the reins of his piece off of the rock. You know what I'm saying?
Empire.
There's few people who are still feeding off of these, you know, really rich 90s record labels.
Ooh,
you know,
this drink is getting to me. Yeah.
And Rockefeller was one of the big ones.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
they've been able to produce a lot of extra things besides Jay-Z. You know, Tidal is part of it. Good Music with Kanye West.
Right.
Rock Nation, which is big at this point.
Yeah, it's huge.
But now Kanye has his piece.
Yes, he has his piece of the pie.
So, I mean, how are you feeling about the decisions that Kanye is making at this point with his piece of the rock?
I'll just go straight to it. I think he made a great decision putting Pusha T as the CEO or president. Thank you, president of Good Music. But I don't know what Pusha T was thinking when he signed Desiigner. I kind of do and I kind of don't. I feel like I think I said this in one of our podcasts before, but there was something like I don't know. I think maybe the energy that you see that comes out of Desiigner. Like I'm trying to figure out the positives that come to this guy.
Energy.
The energy that comes out of this guy, the willingness to work. However, he finally dropped a full out EP. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's just like a mixtape. Just
Jesus.
a mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
Title exclusive.
Right. Oh, it was, huh?
Old English.
No, it's called New English.
Oh, it's old now.
It's called New English. So he drops this tape. And I don't know if you want me to just go into it right now. I'll just go in. He drops this tape. And this tape, right off the bat, sounds carbon copy, DNA clone, Future. If you were thinking that it wasn't that before, you need to listen to this and you will know that it is now. And I don't know how Pusha T even looks, like steps into a room with Future and says, "What's up?" Like, to me, I don't understand how he does that. Because you okayed this shit.
You know what? At first, I was on the other side. I was one of those people who said, you know what? Don't blame this dude, Desiigner. Because his voice sounds like Future's. Because he sounds like Future.
Because he sounds...
You can't... You don't choose the voice that you have.
You don't. You really don't.
And he wasn't even using auto-tune on the one song he had out. Panda was just panda, 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 rah. And he did it.
Yeah.
And you know what he did? It did kind of sound like Future, but it was just his voice. And you know what? I had the man's back. This is his voice. You gonna judge a man for the sound of his voice?
Yeah.
And his ad-libs?
Right.
His flow was different.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. Ish. Yeah.
But it was different-ish enough for me to be like, all right, cool.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting used to that shit anyway. Like, you change one little thing about a flow.
And then he dropped the tape.
New English.
Wasn't nothing new about it.
Mm-mm.
Except that I hadn't heard
Future.
those beats, but I hadn't heard those Future songs before, right?
Yeah. I didn't know Future dropped another tape.
I mean, I wasn't surprised.
Right.
You know what? I wouldn't. You know what would be funny as fuck? If in like a week, Future was like, yeah, I'm just playing with y'all. That was actually me all along. This nigga Designer's just a fucking avatar I use.
Or you'd just be like, oh, that's my little brother right there. I just wanted him to get some money.
No, like, okay, I had Designer's back, and I was excited about hearing more music because I was waiting for him to prove everyone wrong in saying that, okay, he's just a Future cookie cutter copy.
Right.
So I was so excited.
Super excited.
And I had so much faith in Pusha T.
Super faith.
And I'm like, man, there's no way in hell this is what it looks like it is. Let me tell you, America.
And whoever else.
Yeah.
China.
Yeah. If it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it wades through a still brook like a duck.
Or fucks like a duck. I just wanted to say that.
Have you ever seen a duck penis?
No.
Look it up. Google it.
No, thank you.
It's a duck, guys.
It's a fucking duck. Designer's a duck, goddammit.
And, you know, I mean, before I even heard the New English tape, you know, Double XL was tossing out all these, you know, videos. And when I heard the Timmy Turner thing that the internet was going crazy about, clowning him,
we even posted it.
I still had his back.
Yeah, we even posted it. We posted it on our Instagram.
I still had his back, saying it's different, it's creative. You know what? I'm all about people trying different things and experimenting.
Right.
But then you drop that fucking Future mixtape. So yeah, I and so, you know, whatever. Listen to the tape or not. I recommend you do listen to it once just to hear what we're saying, and then do whatever you want to do with it. You might like it, you might hate it, or you might be somewhere in between. I personally listened to it like twice, and I put that shit down, toss it in the tall grass.
Next to the Pokemon.
Yeah, and yeah, even his double XL cipher, he repeated the same fucking line
over
for the whole fucking
it wasn't even 16
whole
bars.
cipher.
Was it 16 bars? It was like a 4 bars.
I don't know, but he did the same fucking loop over and over again.
You know what it sounded like? It sounded like a 4-bar chorus that was repeated through a 16-bar freestyle.
And if you think about it, that's his style.
Yes, it is.
Panda was the best song on that tape.
And that's exactly what it is. There was one verse on that.
There's one verse on Panda that copied. You could literally take the chorus of Panda, cut it up, and stick it in random parts throughout the verse of Panda, and it's the song. It's like he built the song based on the fucking chorus and the hook. What the fuck? Where are we?
And the song's like what, a 5-6 minute song? Not even 6 minutes, but
and I don't mind Panda.
No, I don't either.
I like it,
but I have to turn it off after like the first minute and a half. I can't get through to the verse. Like, that's the thing when it comes to this dude. Like, I don't understand what you think you're doing when you get on double XL. And then that again, my brain is going crazy right now because I just get so enraged when it comes to the fact that there's no skill involved anymore when it comes to when it comes to rapping anymore. Like, if you're gonna be one of the top rappers, like, get on that motherfucker and spit some shit. Like, a lot of these people that were double XL freshmen weren't even prepared, and this to me,
not prepared for double XL freshman cipher.
Like, that's supposed to be something that like, it's like we don't even take, like, there's no accolades anymore. Like, people don't even want a Grammy anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because but that's a whole nother story. Like, there's nothing that hip hop takes seriously now. I feel like there's supposed to be something that you hold dear, like the Source Awards, getting that 5 mics and shit. That was shit that you wanted to work towards. And then and the fact that we are just giving niggas participation points, like, nigga,
you know what? That's an interesting point. Part of it is the culture of the younger generation and getting participation trophies for everything from softball to spelling. Nigga, you can barely spell your own name. Why are you getting a participation trophy for a spelling bee that you lost? You lost. You don't get shit.
Exactly. Like, sometimes you need to fail in order to succeed. And
sometimes niggas need to say you suck. You're whack.
Yeah, like you need to know that. People need to know that. Like, somebody, like, constructive criticism. If we're doing a bad job on this podcast, we need to know that.
Nah, nigga, you know what? Fuck you.
Nigga, fuck you. Nah.
No. But real feedback is very important.
It's very important.
It helps the artistic
How do you expect
process.
to learn? You can't smell your own shit.
You can't. Yo, I love the smell of my shit.
Oh, I can't do it this.
Oh man, I sit in there, G. I'm like.
You like Angry Kid. Have you ever seen that? Where he smells his finger and he goes, ugh, ugh. Like he's about to.
But nobody else's shit smells worse than somebody else's shit, though.
I don't know
really?
if I'm following you.
Your shit smells worse than someone else's?
No. I mean, maybe it does.
Anyway, guys, we're not talking about shit here. Shit is a metaphor for hip-hop.
Right.
So if your hip-hop sucks, and your friends and your boys around you don't tell you that your hip-hop sucks, and you put out whack hip-hop, you know what? It's the fans' fault for listening to your shit and pumping you up.
It seriously is. It really is. It's like, I don't even know how else we should beat this dead horse, but basically nobody's working for anything anymore. You don't have to have any accolades under your belt. You don't have to have any type of mixtapes or anything under your belt. Everything is changing, and I'm not trying to sound like that old person that's like, getting angry about like the times changing and stuff like that, but we need to make sure that there's something to work towards. Like, that's
Thank you.
There's a more moral like, just foundation that everything needs to have.
It needs to be a baseline.
Thank you, a baseline. Whether it be hip hop, whether it be something that you're doing within your personal life, your work life, anything. There has to be some type of baseline for you to start with in order to get these accolades. If I'm not doing well at my job, I have a one-on-one and someone tells me like, hey, well, this is where you're doing well and this is where you can use some improvement.
Yeah.
And that we need some hip hop checks. That's what we need. We need some checks and balances.
And you know what? For so many years, people will be like, "Man, if Pac was still alive, he'd check this on. If Biggie was still alive, yes." But you know what? They may not have done that. They may not have physically done that, but just their presence in the game and the influence that they had, those greats had on the listeners and on the culture would not have allowed that shit to stand. The culture would have come down on these fucking whack-ass fucking rappers and told them, back the fuck back.
So you know what? Yeah, I and just to expand on that too. So I was actually listening to a podcast, Nori's podcast, Drink Champs, and he was saying he actually had KRS-One on there. And KRS-One was like, you know what? That's kind of on us, the OGs, because we didn't do anything to make sure that these motherfuckers out here knew what it was. So it's like taking responsibility, like as an OG, and then also as a youngin' in the game, like trying not to take advantage of things and actually understand that there's a process, there's steps to things. Like, that's why all these motherfuckers in gangs and shit, like, that don't have their OGs are going crazy. Yeah. Because there's nobody to keep you in line. There's always a need for some type of guideline to keep chaos from ensuing. And what's going on?
It's anarchy.
Exactly.
You need checks and balances.
We do. We definitely do. And that's what's happening in hip hop when it comes to these, like, lazy ass ciphers, lazy ass rhymes, lazy ass, like, us lazy listening.
And so
we went on a good one right here, dude.
I really hate to say this, but because I don't necessarily have hard facts to back it up. But fuck it, I'm going to say it anyway.
Say that shit. Say that then.
It seems to me a lot of this switch that happened in hip-hop, when it came to the quality of the hip-hop that was being not just portrayed to us. Because there's been shit that's been put in front of our faces for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
For a very long time. I'm not saying that, oh my God, back in the day, all hip-hop was dope. It wasn't.
Nope.
But however, you could easily decipher, you could easily make a distinction between what was dope and what was just commercial. Nowadays, it's a blend.
Yep.
The reason and I noticed there being a switch in that. When niggas stopped rapping about selling drugs and started rapping about doing drugs. And so now you've got a whole generation of fucking cracked out, leaned out, motherfucking super high, buzzing, mollied out motherfuckers who aren't listening or caring about shit about what people are saying, but caring about how the music makes them feel and how the repetitive patterns are pleasant to their motherfucking trip.
Exactly.
And so, you know what? When it comes down to it, we have a drug problem in hip-hop. We don't necessarily have a hip-hop problem in hip-hop.
I get where you're going with that, too. I do. I definitely do.
I mean, shit, what do we got? Lil Wayne. How many times has this nigga been hospitalized for lean? And he's still drinking this shit. Still rapping about this shit.
Right.
How many people have we lost in hip-hop due to fucking lean, and niggas are still drinking this shit, still rapping about it? Or not even
just lean, due to the mixture of drugs that people are taking. Like, even niggas is taking heroin now. Like, when did it become cool to be the user and the abuser instead of the dealer? Not saying that the dealer was that cool anyway, but, like, the dealer was the one that was getting money and actually hustling and doing something, and that's something that you can take and translate into something else that you can into a legal, profitable type of business.
Well,
but
Biggie fan, what's number 5? What's crack commandment number 5? Never get high on your own supply.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, why are we glorifying these drugs? Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know, man. I kind of lost my train of thought when you went through that because I had to think about.
I don't get it. I just don't understand.
It's not cool to be the abuser. It's not cool to be the drug dealer. But you can't translate. The drug dealer actually has something that they can translate into the music business. A fiend doesn't have much that they can translate into the music business. To me, I don't see it. Like, what are you going to be a fiend for? You're just going to still be a fiend, still sleeping in. Like, niggas die early. I don't know, man. That's it. I guess we went on like an angry ass rant.
And it was crack commandment number 4, guys. I apologize.
I was about to say.
It was 4. 5.
I was like 5.
High supply. It actually rhymes.
I don't know. I know.
It's 4.
Yeah. Okay. Way to fact check yourself.
You know. You know
how I do, though. You know how I do. I do that. I do that shit. Yeah. I do that shit. Anyway. Enough of us like ragging on these young ass motherfuckers in hip hop.
You know what? No, fuck. No, I'm just playing. Yeah.
I know. Fuck them niggas, man. Fuck them motherfuckers. They want to go over there and get all high and shit. Fuck them niggas.
Tell them.
Fuck them.
Tell them.
I'm trying to get my Denzel Washington on when he was talking about fuck them niggas.
So one newer rapper that I'm actually excited about.
Nice transition.
And that was actually was he ever a double XL freshman?
New rapper?
Logic?
Yes. Let me double check that. I believe so. I am 60% sure he is. Go ahead and go in.
You know, even if he wasn't, it's if anything, it speaks more to the double XL. But this guy,
he was 2013's freshman class with ScHoolboy Q.
Okay.
Joey Badass.
Okay.
Absol.
Okay.
Dizzy Right.
Yeah.
Trinidad James, Angel Hayes.
Okay.
And Riff Raff, unfortunately.
Okay. I mean, most of those people are still semi-relevant today.
Yeah, definitely. This was a good...
That's a pretty good freshman class to be a part of.
French Montana was in this motherfucker. Okay. I think so. No, never mind. That's wrong.
But, yeah, so...
Travis Scott was in this, though.
Okay. So Logic has a new tape out, and this guy has been putting out projects for a while. I don't know. Before, I was not 100% sold on Logic. I felt as if Logic had a problem of being a great canvas for the landscape of his contemporaries, in that he could pull a lot of information and a lot of thoughts and ideas and sounds from, freaking the people that we listen to.
His influences.
Yes. However, when I heard his new tape, I felt like he took a step closer to actually finding his own sound, to finding out who Logic is. And his new tape is called Bobby Tarantino.
Yeah.
Check it out if you haven't checked it out yet.
I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Question for you. Do you think that he did that with Incredible Story as well?
I feel like Incredible Story was a step in the right direction, but there were still definitely songs on that record that, oh my God, borrowed heavily from Drake. There were like 2 or 3 songs on there that I felt like he could have written for Drake, and Drake was just like, nah, I'm cool. And so he's like, all right, I'll put them on my record. There were like 2 or 3 cuts on there that I thought could have been on a J. Cole record.
Okay.
And there were a couple of cuts in there that I thought could have been on a freaking
so you still
Kendrick
heard it.
record.
Yeah, so
on the second. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
This one I felt like maybe it's because I've listened to more of his projects and I've heard a bigger body of his work. But I think part of it is also him probably listening to a lot of those criticisms and actually honing in on, okay, what works well with me and what works well with my voice and what is going to be my sound. And I feel like he's taken steps in the right direction in finding out what his sound is and being able to deliver that to his fans and, potential fans.
I guess so. So then, because I think what he did was on Incredible, I think he actually came into his voice. I know that we disagree on that one because we actually talked about that. And then like on Young Sinatra, the Undeniable joint that he had, he blatantly took the beats from his influences and stuff and rapped over them. And I think he did a good job there too. That one, I think I can agree with you that he did take the flows, but I think that was intentional. I've never really heard too many of the I think I hear a lot of influences from a lot of people whenever the people rap, like in general. When it comes to Logic, I think it doesn't bother me as much because it's so much paying homage. But I do agree with this Bobby Tarantino. It does sound like he has found his niche and found his voice a lot more. Like, he's grown a lot. And another thing is it's a trap fucking tape.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he says it
it's
in
playing.
there.
Yeah, he's playing to the pop audience. So
He says it in there. There's a line in the song where he goes, "This one's for the club. The next one's for rap."
Mm-hmm. And he's always been true to the rap. He's always been true to the actual art of in the culture of hip hop. So that's one of the things that I've always like loved about him. So
Yep.
yeah, but Bobby Tarantino was fucking turned. I love that
dope.
shit.
Yeah, he's like, what is it? This one's for the party. Next one's for the spirit.
Yep.
You know, and he was really cocky in this shit. Like
Definitely, he's talking that shit.
He's talking that
and
shit,
he needs to
one.
because he's been in this game for so fucking long. 3 years since he's gotten that XXL cover. He's already been working on shit. I want to say like even 3 years before that.
Yep.
He's been doing shit for a long ass time, and niggas is sleeping on him. And I'm even gonna be one to admit I used to sleep on him, and I had to go back and I had to go look and do my homework. And this motherfucker, he's legit.
Technically sound.
Yes.
Part of my problem with him before was not just his influences that came through in his style, but was also in me just not being super compelled by his story as an artist. His story as a person, you know.
Really?
I wasn't like, oh my God, yes, I can totally relate to you, or oh, that's really interesting. I'd love to hear more about you, Logic. It was more like, okay, he's a good rapper.
You weren't intrigued by the story that like he, like, look at him now. And he used to sell crack. His sister was abused, and like all that stuff. That's a compelling story for me. That's something I can relate to.
I guess it was the way he portrayed it in his music. He
like presented it, or
it was the way he presented it. Not necessarily the story.
The story itself, but the way it was provided.
It was the way it was packaged.
Yeah.
He even has a line in this tape where he goes, you know, I'm number one because people, you know, do the high demand, not because people buy it for the lyrics. It's because they buy it for the brand. And so what he's saying is people are buying into the Logic brand, and this is why
everyone's
they
a brand
go out.
now.
But that was the point he was making. Everyone is a brand. So he's coming to his own brand.
To be honest, everyone has been a brand since the beginning of time. I think it's always been some type of branding.
It's been a part of it, but I feel like with social media, with everyone having a freaking cell phone in their pocket, it's more about the image around the music than just the music. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, you got a tape from somebody. If that shit was fire, you play it.
Right. It was only the music, not based on the music and what you do in your personal life, and if you have a clothing line,
no idea.
If you have a shoe.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah. Right.
It's different now.
Right.
So people buy the brand as opposed to just specifically the music. And I guess I wasn't sold on it, and part of it was, like I said, was a presentation. But after hearing more of his work and kind of leading up into this tape, I'm very excited for the next tape. I'm very excited for his next full-length project, which, according to him, is going to be another concept album.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is, and I'm excited for that too. Another thing I'm excited about: Blank Face.
Oh,
blank,
man.
blank face.
ScHoolboy Q.
ScHoolboy Q. Yeah, that motherfucker, that guy, that TDA piece of shit. He's not a piece of shit. He's a great rapper.
Yeah, I mean, so we talked about him last time. He put out the song That Part. I just checked on YouTube. 24 million views.
Damn, on both of those, or
on just that part.
Damn,
24 million on YouTube.
No conversate with the fake.
So it's doing well.
Yeah.
But he just recently released 2 videos and 2 new songs.
Mm-hmm.
In those videos. What is it? By Any Means and Tookie Knows Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Just a quick anecdote or whatever on the side here. That part was the number 1 selling rap song or rap single behind Drake, Rihanna, and Desiigner. It was that. So he was like the 3rd most popular rapper for a minute there when it came out. So I think that's actually an accolade to think about.
Yeah.
You know? Even because Desiigner was appealing to a certain art audience. Drake always appeals to a certain audience. And Rihanna doesn't count because she's not rap. So, like, that was something that was pretty cool, I think. But anyway, going in about
that is huge.
Yeah, that's super huge. I mean, and it's a single. Like, you're selling like the most, like, nobody fucking buys singles anymore.
Right.
So the fact that you're buying a single, like that shit was crazy to me. And then Top Dog had a little controversy about that because he tweeted out saying like he didn't think
people
anybody
don't buy singles.
Yeah, people didn't support it the way they needed. I was just like, you know what, that shit was kind of actually
corny.
Not corny, but I'm just saying like it's sold, so I'm not sure what you're saying. Like you know what I'm saying. But anyway, going back to By Any Means and Tookie Knows. Go ahead.
He released 2 videos with the songs. So you get so he released 2 videos with the songs, and they're cinematic, they're theatrical, there's acting, as much as niggas can act about being niggas.
It's not much acting in it though, to be honest. Like right, it's some real shit.
Right. But the point is it's a story. And so he's telling a story with these songs. And I'm hoping there's more videos, cuz if we get the freaking hip-hop gangsta West Coast version of a Beyonce album where there's a video for every motherfucker, I'm all about that shit.
I think he hinted towards that, or actually said that he was actually going to be doing that when he was on Hot 97. He said that there's going to be some more videos coming out. It's going to be like kind of trickling out towards the date. It comes out tomorrow. Today's the 7th. It comes out tomorrow, dude.
So on our next podcast, we'll definitely be talking about that. Maybe.
Definitely maybe. That's a movie. Chick flick.
We'll definitely be talking about that maybe.
I think we're going to definitely be talking about it. Maybe. There's no way that we're not going to listen to that, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, so what I personally love it. I've liked Schoolboy Q for a while.
Yeah. Likewise.
What I really enjoyed about these videos, did you see anybody else from like any more big names from TDE in either one of these videos?
Nope.
So I feel like these guys have finally got to the point where they don't need each other to fucking get on, and they don't need each other to fucking create a buzz, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's winning.
That is definitely winning when your whole team is on like that. Yeah.
On their own.
And to me, I think that's exactly what's happening. Like ASAP Rocky and ASAP Ferg has that. TDE has that right now with Schoolboy Q and Kendrick, and hopefully soon to be J-Rock and Absol. Like that stuff. Like when you have a whole camp of shit. Like Drake is only Drake. You know, that's it. Future is only Future. That's it. You know, like maybe those two are like way too big to have other people in their camps, but I really do love it when there's a collective of people that are equally skilled.
Let's be fair. J. Cole is just J. Cole.
J. Cole is just J. Cole. And he's trying to get Boz and Kaz and a bunch of these people under Dreamville to come up to that level. But, I mean, those people have a lot more development to do.
Yes.
But it's really nice to see a collective like that just come together and sit on their own. I like it.
Okay.
And I can't wait to see what happens with Schoolboy Q's album and those two and the videos to come. Like the shit had me on the edge of my seat.
I mean, this shit's lyrical. This shit is fucking gangsta. This shit is fucking groovy.
And to be honest, it's shot well. It's shot extremely well. Yeah. And the acting in it is like we'll just call it acting. Like the way that everything went down is so
authentic.
Like everything about it is just real and authentic. That's all I gotta say. That's Schoolboy Q though for you.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, in a nutshell, guys, with the Schoolboy Q thing, I feel like Schoolboy Q is kind of the modern day like gangster rap.
Right.
Like he's bringing the gangster rap back, and so we can definitely talk about the comparisons once the record comes out to the YG record.
Yeah.
But I feel like these two groups kind of from LA, at least with the most recent project that YG put out, and from the tracks that we've heard so far from Schoolboy, kind of took different directions.
They did.
I like them both.
Yeah.
So YG kind of took a throwback to like the G-Funk era and kind of took that old school familiar West Coast sound.
But flipped it on a new type of sound.
Yeah.
But like still had the roots and the foundations were there.
This Schoolboy Q shit though is like, you know, gangsta for 2016.
Yeah, it's the new age gangsta.
It's the new age gangsta. Like Like, but it's not that trap shit. It's still
No.
so they have that in common. They both have that in common. They're not doing trap style music. They're not doing that Atlanta 808s type shit. Even though there's obviously 808s in it. Come on, guys, it's fucking 2016. Whatever. But the point is, they're not like rapping over trap beats. They're not rapping over future beats. They're fucking rapping over West Coast beats. But for like the new school, and it's fucking exciting to see. It's really exciting
to see. I agree. That, I mean, not discounting what YG has brought to the table. Still Brazy was still an awesome, amazing project.
Dope project.
We are also TDE stans, but YG did an amazing job bringing out that gangster music. ScHoolboy is going to do an amazing job bringing out that new age gangster, and then hopefully there's more to come when it comes from those two and the whole West Coast, like, because we love our West Coast shit. That's our roots. That's what we do. That's who we are.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got, bruh.
Yeah.
It looks like it. Well, one other thing before we leave, I want to just let you guys all know that we do have the website up and running.
Yes.
It is www.throughthecrate.com. And then also, I want to let you guys know that all of our social media is Through the Crate across the board. Our Twitter.
Yes.
Our Instagram.
Yes.
Our Tumblr.
Yes.
And our website.
Ooh.
As well as if you search Through the Crate on SoundCloud, you can find us there as well.
Yes.
Just letting you guys know how to get in contact with us. Please let us know if there's anything you guys want us to cover. If there's anything that you see, we're definitely open to any feedback that you guys have, just as we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And on that note,
yeah,
we all done.
Deuces.
It's all good.
Bye.
Nigga, we out this bitch. Motherfucker, I'm about to do a rant at the end of this motherfucker. Yeah, don't turn me off. Don't turn me off. Don't, nigga, don't.